I'm going to demonstrate a couple of things numerators can do to put in an inaccessible and the warnings that might appear if they don't do their track acres. Okay, here is a one I had started. So this track has been screened as an ag track. So I have gotten into the questionnaire, and that's at this point where I'm going to decide if, I can't get a hold of this farmer. I'm going to have to do something to complete the track. There's no way I can get a hold of them. I think I know the track acres I've observed. I can, put in some data here. So the way that we suggest not having to go through the whole questionnaire, because that can be an issue, is there's a hot link button at the top, and it's in every CAPI survey. So I'm on page 1 right here of the ag track. So I can type in my inaccessible here, and I can click on that button. So what it just did, it took me to the end. So if they do get to the end and section D is not done here, so they can fill out their back end to here. They couldn't get a hold of anybody. So when they try to submit, it's going to generate an error. So whenever they use that hot link button at the top, it's going to go to the end, and this is what they're going to get when they submit. So this is after the first submit button. If they touch submit again, it's going to let them go. It's going to let them submit it. So we don't have a hard stop in here where it just can't submit this ag track when it's an inaccessible with no track acres in 840. So the way to get back there is, the numerator says, oh yeah, I know something about it. I know at least there's soybeans in there, or at least I know the acres. So if you can go back, I hit 2 clicks right there. You see what it did? It went all the way to the beginning. So they're going to have to go in and at least pick operation description. And then I'm right at section D. So I didn't have any acres here. So the numerator tried to submit this with no acres. I'm going to put some acres in, and that's my observed, and and so on. And like you would do on a paper questionnaire, you would go in and fill in what you know. So if it's, pasture, it's all pasture, you can get at least that done. So the way to get back, how do I get back to the end? I don't want to go through the whole questionnaire. I may know he got some cattle. I'm going to have to thumb down through the cattle. I'm going to have to go down the sheep if I know he's got sheep and goats. There's no way around thumbing through these pages to get the data that you need to put in there, whatever numerator decides they want to put in. But I can get to the end here and submit. I just go back, and I'm back at the end. And I need to fill in my response codes at the end. And then I'll submit it. And then it's going to submit. So let's go look at a non-ag. So this one is an unscreened non-ag track. And for informational purposes, I'm going to verify that's Doe Farms and nothing's changed, which they can go in there and change that. So I'm going to screen this thing all the way down, no. So I've screened this guy's non-ag. So you need an entry in 846. You need to answer these questions. You also need to answer your drop down. If they try to submit without answering those questions, we got some errors that pop up. So I think this was another thorn in the side when numerators was submitting without some of these codes. So that may help speed up this non-ag track submission. So they can go back and make sure they have these boxes filled in correctly. Whatever needs to be in there. And if it's observed, that's another problem that they're going to say, well, I don't know the answer. Well, you should estimate those boxes just as they would have done on paper. Now again, this error is going to come up only once, which is probably a downfall of that, but at least they will see that yellow banner up there when they leave some stuff blank on non-ags. So the last thing I want to show is a submission segment down here. I think I've got this one sort of ready. So I have a tract. I got some comments in there. I wanted to show you segment level comments. You know, those types of issues that normally are written on the back page of the screen. So I want to go in there and submit this non-ag. I just wanted to show you a fully submitted segment. So this is a large non-ag tract that got screened. No, it's woods. I'm going to go ahead and submit it. And then you'll see a timestamp show up. So both of these tracts are submitted. This is pretty much ready to go. My RADA is just within the mark. And they're going to get the error here. So I purposely did this. It's so close. So they're going to let them submit it. We're going to let these go through. We don't have hard errors to stop it. So at least they will get a warning if it's not within 10. If I touch it again, it's going to submit. So I just wanted to show you some of those warnings that you might get, the enumerators might receive when they're trying to get through these segments.